Nyadol Nyuon is a lawyer, a human rights advocate and a sought-after media commentator.
Are we getting anywhere beyond what the government just wants to put on the table?
Part of the reason I'm smiling is because I'm trying to be as polite as possible.
Like many Melburnians, Nyadol is passionate about coffee and Aussie rules football.
Can you describe this moment for the family? Your brother's about to make his AFL debut.
I am so excited and so proud.
Nyadol attributes much of her success to her education. She did most of her primary and secondary schooling in Kakuma refugee camp in Kenya.
Oh my God, we had amazing teachers in Kakuma secondary school. They so far beyond you being a refugee, and they allowed you then to dream far beyond a refugee, I think.
Kakuma refugee camp is located in Kenya's far north, near the border of South Sudan. Nyadol always imagined she would return to Kakuma one day, and recently she did.
I'm not sure how it's going to feel landing back after almost 18 years. A lot has changed since being in Melbourne, but I am really looking forward to it. Oh my God, I left here as a little...
It's been almost 2 decades since Nyadol last felt the intense heat of northwest Kenya.
Welcome to Kakuma.
Thank you.
After a long time.
I wanted to come here because there is a love for this place and the people.
Nyadol has returned to Kakuma with Australia for UNHCR to promote the importance of education for refugee children.
It absolutely feels like a huge privilege to have the opportunity to be involved in an activity that could raise funds to educate even one child.
Kakuma has grown enormously since Nyadol lived here. It's now home to almost 300,000 refugees. They come from many different countries.
Yeah. It's definitely changed. It's changed so much.
After a bit of searching and a few wrong turns,
I'm completely lost.
Nyadol finds old friends, people who've known her since she was a little girl. As Kakuma has grown, so have the number of children attending school. This is Kakuma Secondary School. The average class size is about 100 pupils. There aren't enough teachers or textbooks or toilets.
Thank you very much for having me in your class.
Nyadol studied here until year 12, when she, her mother and siblings were granted humanitarian visas to come to
I
Australia.
apologize for being talkative, because I was very talkative.
Before you told me that you are a lawyer, right? What really motivated you to be a lawyer?
I wanted to be a lawyer because I wanted to fight for justice. To me, law was another example of fighting for the right thing without the violence.
Like Nyadol, Ayor is from South Sudan, and she too dreams of becoming a lawyer.
Education is very important. It can help you to change not only a family but a world. You can get a job, and then after getting that job, you'll be capable of doing something meaningful to your life and help the rest.
Ayor says she's driven by a desire to help girls.
The reason why I want to help girls is because here in Kakuma now, girls are the ones facing a lot of challenges.
Those challenges include less time to study than boys because of domestic responsibilities. And many girls miss a week of school each month when they have their period because they don't have sanitary napkins. But Nyadol sees positive change too. Many more girls are now completing their secondary education here. And just like the boys, they want to be writers and engineers and teachers and doctors.
I really believe in the power of education, but I also believe in the power of these young people here. These kids are desperate to learn. They are excited to learn. They've got dreams. They ask wonderful questions.
For Nyadol, it was learning to read that changed her world.
Reading made me who I am.
And that's why it's important to Nyadol to return to the library where she spent so much of her childhood.
Hello, how are you?
Fine,
welcome.
This library was established by Ethiopian refugees and has changed very little since Nyadol left.
Today she would have been 100 years old. I used to come here and borrow books. It meant the world to me. You know, as a refugee kid, it gave me an escape. You know, books can look simple, but they are very powerful. And I am glad, you know, those Ethiopian refugees, probably displaced, you know, from their own home, thought to build a library. And I would not have become a writer or a reader at all without this place. You know, I would have not become a lawyer without this place. Because it showed me through books what I could do. And I'm really glad. Yeah. Writers. Who wants to write?
Nyadol's main goal is to raise as much money as possible to educate refugee children. There are 98,000 students in Kakuma and they're entirely dependent on the generosity of donors.
Schools in the camp do not benefit from government resources and therefore entirely depend on the international community for support to meet the cost of the recurrent costs, the teacher salaries, the student supplies, the uniforms. All this is dependent on the support that we get from the international community.
Sometimes the world can seem too much. There's so much going on that makes you feel so powerless and overwhelmed that you wonder whether anything you do makes a change. This makes a change, real change.